Howdy, folks. Howdy. I'm Black Dragon, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Black Dragon Biker TV with my co-host, Mike Ball. And here we are, Monday through Friday, Friday through Monday. Me and Mike Ball doing just like it was Sunday, getting on down like Bates with sense around. All the people who look at us saying we're getting on down. Yeah, me and Mike Ball, we're doing it. And you guys should be doing it too. We're looking around to see what y'all are doing. Trying to get down, the girls you be screwing. 1, 2, 3 into the 4. Me and Mike Ball be doing it some more every day, Monday through Friday. So like, share, and subscribe. Share, like, and subscribe. And you can get us on your podcast and everything. Just come hang out with me and Mike Ball.
Yeah! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Yeah, say it louder for the bag. Hey, that was I really got to give it to you on this because we've been waiting for the Black Dragon rap, but it wasn't just a Black Dragon rap, it was a Black Dragon rap intro. That made it epic. I'm clipping the hell out of this. All right.
No,
yes, I am.
No, you're not. It's going to be deleted right after the show.
Nope, not me. Because it's recorded on my side. Deleted on yours. I still have it.
Hey, man. We did a story about a week ago, and there was a hit and run, and I'm trying to get the ice out of my mouth. Sorry about that. The person that did the hit and run and kind of gotten away or whatever, because that's a hit and run, you get away.
Right.
So it looks like right after, not long after our show, they had they posted this extra video about him. So we've come to find out that he was actually arrested. So we'll show that. Here we go. Police, motorcyclist was arrested after a fatal hit and run, striking a pedestrian in South Los Angeles. And this happened in 2023. Police have arrested a hit and run motorcyclist who fatally struck a pedestrian in South Los Angeles back in May of 2023. So we're going to play the video here from the local news there.
Are you going to bring it back to the beginning? Because it's halfway through.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
All right. And well, damn, I thought I did.
No, you did that with the volume.
Was that what that was?
Yeah. I'm watching you. That's why I'm here.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now,
part of my reason why I'm here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I thank you. Here we go. Action.
In the case, thanks to news viewers, police put out this video today searching for a motorcyclist who allegedly hit and killed an elderly man in South LA.
KCAL assignment editor Mike Rogers is live at the desk tonight. And Mike, you've been talking to detectives about this big update. What are they saying?
Yeah, Pat and Chauncey, the detectives tell me that they were able to take a person into custody just hours after going public with it. I want to show you the video here that was released to the press earlier today. This is the suspect here. He's a member of a motorcycle club. They say hit and killed that elderly man in South LA. Now, the patches on his vest there, on his chest, were instrumental in being able to identify him. The detective and I had actually been talking about this for a couple of weeks, and they thought that this might help, and it sure did. Apparently, he told me that LAPD's station basically turned into a phone bank with the number of tips that they were getting from the public about who this person was. Apparently, people who knew the guy actually were calling him as well, saying, hey, we just saw you on the news. That prompted this man to turn himself in to LAPD's 77th station as a result of all of this. We tell you guys a lot about these hit and runs, and we ask you if you know anything to call police. And in this situation, our viewers certainly did that, you guys. And now this person is in custody for felony hit and run.
All right, good.
Wow, custody for felony hit and run. Yeah, for sure.
So a couple things here. First of all, I'm glad they said motorcycle club and not motorcycle gang.
Yeah, that's one thing we got to give. Tip our hats off to.
The first iteration of this was he was a gang member of the such and such gang.
Totally. That's normally what they would do to sell more and get more. That's usually what they do. So I'm surprised that they said club.
The second thing is what kind of friends does this guy have?
Right.
They said it became a virtual phone bank of people calling in to tell us who the guy was. Like, wow. Ouch.
Yeah, like if my buddies so-called
or neighbors.
or
Maybe
neighbors
he's not a great neighbor.
or whatever. You never know, but they're calling in, to give info like that is.
I have a couple neighbors that.
Yeah, you mean the ones trying to rob your ass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know him.
Yeah,
Got a video of him climbing over. Hey, man, let me tell you, this new dog that is being.
What's his name? What's his name?
He has no name. You know what? I'm going to let probably the audience name him. Right. This new dog that has been hanging out over here.
Name him Butch.
No, I don't like Butch. He has already become part of the, like, I cannot believe he was here 4 hours and he's already become part of the protection squad over here. Every time Brutus barks and runs after anything coming on the yard, this dog is right side by side with him. Like, dude, you don't even live here and you're like protecting the place. Like,
he loves you. That's why you gave him 6 cheeseburgers, and ever since then, it's game over.
Now. It's 12 now. They had 6 cheeseburgers yesterday too. Anyway, I can't afford these things. Not 2 of them. Anyway, this guy he is accused of killing 72-year-old Raymond Peters, who went to the hospital and died. And so they found him obviously by his patches and his kind of motorcycle. People seem to know him when they put the. Hey, let me tell you something. You can become like, nobody knows John Bunch.
Right.
Nobody knows him. Like, I'm so obscure as John Bunch. If you go to my Facebook page, John Bunch doesn't exist. If you go to my Instagram page, John Bunch has maybe 100 followers.
Yeah, that's your personal, like, nobody knows about it.
Nobody knows. But now Black Dragon,
the presence, yes. The content creator. Oh, man, you're everywhere.
If John Bunch ran over somebody on a motorcycle, who would know? But if Black Dragon in my Black Sabbath colors ran over somebody on a motorcycle,
you're very right.
I know that guy. And they saying people were calling him, "Hey, bro, the gig is up. Thank you, Mike. The gig is up. You need to call on in and go on down there to them people and, see about what you got to see about." So anyway, unfortunately, a man died. And here's the funny thing about hit and run. A lot of times, if you don't run, like, there's no foul. Like, hey, the guy walked out in the middle of the street. I ran his ass over. I'm sorry. Or he was in the crosswalk. I shouldn't have been speeding through the crosswalk. But it's always worse when you leave, especially if they die. Sometimes it's hard not to leave, but especially if you die. Now, here's one that someone sent to me. Okay, take it off the screen for a minute and let me search around.
So when you said that, it's very interesting that you said that some people don't leave, some people leave. It's off of instinct. When I got hit by that drunk driver, she was 3 times over the legal limit, right? And when she made that illegal left 90-degree turn and T-boned my leg off at the scene, she couldn't run. And the reason why is because where she was turning into, the housing tract that she was turning into, she only lived 3 houses down. She had nowhere to run at that point. You know what I mean? There was nowhere to go.
Why she didn't run, or maybe she didn't run because she was a good person.
No, she never got out of the car. I've never seen her face. She stayed in the car while I was bleeding out. I just saw her.
Right. That's sometimes because people don't know what to do.
Yeah, because she's freaking hammered drunk.
Oh, right. I'm sorry, I forgot. No, don't come back.
Okay. But yeah, so for her, she had nowhere to go, and she was just gonna allow me to bleed out. It wasn't until a random pedestrian on an electric bike, who I apparently flew by him when I got hit at, I got hit at 80 miles per hour. I'm doing about 80 or 50, and so collectively that hit And when I went flying 150 feet down the road with no leg and my whole back broken, I apparently went by this guy, and he finally got up to me when I was almost dead and tourniqueted me with my own belt, with his belt. And it sucked because, you know, the person that hit me is sitting right there down the street with their hands on the wheel and have nowhere to go. They're just not getting out, didn't want to try to save a human life, just was just going to let me die.
Man. And you know what? We're supposed to have somebody on the show. Hopefully we'll have them on the show this week. Somebody who almost died in a wreck, a 1%er up north, that we're going to have on the show. As a matter of fact, I'm going to call him today.
Please do.
Yeah, because we had some postponements and stuff, and then we had the Super Bowl. We were supposed to do it last Sunday, but it was
we
Super
had a
Bowl.
lot of going on, you know,
So
Super Bowl, Valentine's Day, President's Day, all this crap. So
I think it's going to be an interesting thing for you because you actually, when we interview him, because, you know, you guys went through the kind of the same thing.
Well, that's I'm able to ask and talk to him like I can relate to a different level, you know what I mean, and ask those questions of the mind state and all of the different things. So, anyways, that's going to be a good episode.
So I found this story.
Should I pull it up now?
Yeah, and I think somebody, I'm not sure when this happened. This could be like 7 years old or something, but we're just now hearing about it now. So I'm just now hearing about this story, and I want to talk about the Patriot Guard for a minute. So let's play this. Someone sent this to me. Tia sent this to me this morning.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and so this is Tia said, I want you to do some positive news. You're always doing negative news. So this is a contribution from Tia. Here we go. Let me turn the music on here and action.
Marines' remains were to be mailed to Mom, but angry bikers decided to step in. Sergeant Jonathan Turner passed away at just 41 years old after serving his country for 17 years. But after his death, his elderly mother was unable to travel to collect her son's ashes. So it was decided they would simply mail it to her. But then a group of bikers heard about this and were disgusted. They couldn't stand the thought of Sergeant Turner going home in a FedEx box, and so they decided to take action. The bikers traveled hundreds of miles to collect Sergeant Turner's ashes. In total, they traveled through Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas, where each group of bikers would travel to their border and perform a ceremony before passing the ashes to the next group.
Whoa.
Right until the late soldier's ashes reached his mother in Georgia. The bikers paid the utmost respect and ensured Sergeant Turner made it home in a dignified manner, and also proved that, although they may look tough, they truly have hearts of gold.
Oh my goodness. No, that is fantastic.
Yeah, so you know, that made me cry this morning.
Yeah, man, that's heavy. That's heavy.
And so I went online and I found this article. This was the only thing I could find about it. This was written. It looks like it might have been done like 7 years ago. It says edited 7 years ago right here. So
wow. So it's been a minute, maybe.
Maybe this happened a long time ago. So the story is bikers heard the Marines' remains were coming home in a UPS box. They couldn't let it happen. So he says, RP members and connections. I wanted to share this story with you this morning. This makes me proud to be a veteran and member of the Colorado PGR. And PGR is the Patriot Guard Riders. Wow. May Staff Sergeant Jonathan Turner rest in peace and never be forgotten. The Patriot Guard Riders, PGR, is an organization based in the United States whose members attend the funerals of members of the United States military, firefighters, and police at the invitation of a decedent's family. The group forms an honor guard and military burials. The group forms an honor guard at military burials, helps protect mourners from harassment, and fills out the ranks at burials of indigent and homeless veterans. In addition to attending funerals, the group also greets troops returning from overseas at homecoming celebrations and performs volunteer work for veterans organizations such as Veterans Homes, according to Wikipedia. Staff Sergeant Jonathan Turner served 7 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. Damn. And died last week in California from combat-related injuries.
Wow.
And they were going to mail him home.
Mail.
His mother was unable to make the trip from Georgia, that's here, to California for the funeral. And the Marine Corps handled all of the funeral arrangements, including shipping Staff Sergeant's ashes back home. And
that's like me coming to you. You know what I mean? That's a very far way, to be real. And
yeah, it's the same.
What an honor for them
now, hold
to
on.
do something
Let's get back to the story. At that, and that didn't. So the Marines handled all the funeral arrangements. And if you've ever been to a Marine funeral, it's beautiful what they do, including shipping Staff Sergeant's ashes back home. And that didn't sit well with Patriot Guard Riders, so they stepped up by creating a caravan and personally escorting Staff Sergeant Turner's remains all the way across the country. It was an operation that involved hundreds of volunteers and thousands of miles ridden. So I wanted to take a second to talk about how the Patriot Guard buries people.
Look.
PGR, I worked with over 7 years as a Legion rider. So let me tell you how they bury people. It is so they have a mission, and I think they started from people. So veterans were coming back home during the Iraq War. If I remember this correctly, there was a church that would go to these funerals with these big signs and stuff and harass the family members, saying that because it was an illegal war or something, God had ordained that their family member die. And they would go from funeral to funeral to funeral with this nonsense.
No way.
Yeah. And these Patriot Guard dudes, they put together a thing called Patriot Guard Riders. And one of the things that they would do is they would get so many of them and they would stand side by side in a like a wall.
Right.
To shield the family from these idiots with these flags and whatever this church was or whatever. They would shield these people with these flags. That these people had flags and stuff up, like you were born to die and God is with you and God hates you and all this stuff. And so they originally formed, I believe, I could be wrong on why they originally formed, but part of it was to protect these people from these funeral protesters, as it were. And there was a lot of court battles and stuff to stop these people. And we're going to tell you how to share your information with us.
Yeah, he's got like 7 different years of
send me an email and I will get you my Google Drive and you can share your videos directly to my Google Drive. At blacksabbathmc.com.
Or you can send it to me on Instagram right there at Ball Valve TV, and then I can boom.
You can't send videos on Instagram. Big videos. Can you?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. So they would go and do this, and then I guess later on their mission got bigger, and they would call like each one of these things a mission or an operation, just like military. Like, okay, today's mission is to go protect family X, blah blah blah. So there's a few things that they do that were so cool. Like one of the things is they come at the invitation of the family, but another thing is they're non-confrontational. So my one and only experience with them, we had a brother who was killed on his motorcycle. His name was Halfsack. And no, it was not Halfsack. What was his name? Was it Halfsack? I think it might have been Halfsack. He was killed on his motorcycle. He was part of our Riverside chapter. And this is several years ago. I never knew him personally. But he was killed on his motorcycle, and his family brought in the Patriot Guard. So the Riverside chapter was not able to bury him because he lived in Florida. So it was the Georgia chapters and the Florida chapters that actually buried him. And so, Mike, we went down to Florida, and there we run into this Patriot Guard yahoos on their motorcycles, right? And there was like, Jesus, almost a whole like motorcycle club of them. There was
like a lot.
There was a lot of these cats, and I didn't know who they were. I didn't know much about the Patriot Guard other than what I'd seen in the news. So the family had talked to them, and the family wanted us to be in the procession. So we had 50 motorcycles there or something of our own. And the Patriot Guard commander comes up to me and, yeah, we'll be leading the procession, and we'll be this, we'll be that. And I said, hold on, you ain't leading shit. Nobody leads a Black Sabbath pack but Black Sabbath. There is no way in hell we're riding behind the Patriot Guard. You've lost all your marbles.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, he was really rather upset about that because they had a whole thing planned, right, with the family or whatever. And I was the pompous, shitty national president, and the Patriot Guard wasn't fixing to lead my motorcycle club. That's
right. But you were probably ignorant on who they were, and I don't mean that in a mean way.
I was pompous and arrogant, and we just our practice. We don't ride behind motorcycle clubs.
Right. But see, that's why it's not necessarily. I don't look at it as pompous. I look at it as protocol. You guys usually would be riding the front of that and allowing them to, you know, in normal circumstances.
So
this is a little different.
This commander got extremely angry with me because he had a whole thing planned. Right. He got extremely angry with me, and he began to argue. And one of his buddies tapped him on the shoulder and called him to the side and said, remember, you know, we're not here to bring any drama. This is non-confrontational. If he wants us to ride at the back of the pack or at the back of the convoy, we'll ride anywhere he wants us to ride. We're here for the soldier. So to the back of the convoy they went. Now, it was almost 100 miles. It was like 50 miles or more to the graveyard.
Right.
So I get up at the front of the pack with my pompous ass, and I realize, you don't know where you're going.
You might want to let them tell you where we're going.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
So I am sitting there looking crazy, and he just so happened to have a motorcycle just like mine. He had the same color, a burgundy Victory Vision. So I'm sitting there looking down the road thinking, where the hell is the graveyard? So I get on my motorcycle and I ride all the way back, and the procession's almost like a mile long. I ride my ass all the way back to where he is, and I point at him and I say, you and you only come to the front. And so for the first time in history, a Black Sabbath pack was led by a non-Black Sabbath.
Right.
And I'm so glad that guy came to the front of the pack and led us down all these twisting, winding, crazy ass roads.
Wherever the hell that place is going to be at.
That he knew, like we went through like 20 effing towns. And let me tell you how the Patriot Guard had this thing set up, bro. The police department, the sheriffs and highway patrols and police and all these different agencies, when we would hit a new township, the police had it blocked off, and these officers would, I didn't know police had, I know they're like quasi-military, but I didn't know that like they had an attention. They've got like an attention, and then they would stand, they would fold their hand like so, something like that, with their hat in their hand, and like pop off kind of like a salute or something.
Yes.
And it was the coolest effing thing, as this miles long procession is going through their town. They would escort for a while, and then when it came time for the handoff, they'd pull up, jump out the car, pop to this salute with this hat or whatever, and the respect, like, I don't know if a motorcycle club has ever been respected so.
Like that, at that level. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. And how amazing it was when you put your ego aside to allow
my ass. I would have been looking crazy trying to get around. I didn't allow. Yes. I begged. Please come save me from myself.
Help me. Yeah, I just messed up hard. Please help me.
Please come save me from myself.
A good learning lesson right here.
Allowed. What he allowed was himself to ride up there without his pack. Because it had been me, I'd have said, nah, bro, either all of us Patriot Guards come up and lead from the front, or your black ass has it. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? And so that veteran was escorted. Our brother was escorted by these Patriot Guard, and the respect that he was shown and the level of honor and love, and somebody they didn't even know. Now, let me tell you the other thing they did. They put their lives on the line to maintain the integrity of the convoy. What is it called? A funeral procession, in order to maintain the integrity of the procession. So there were these cars behind the procession, and it was long. It was, it was probably a mile long, and then once you started going, it probably stretched out a couple miles. Like it was long, and there was probably 50 motorcycles. Then they had another 20, 30, 40 motorcycles. And then there were dozens, if not scores, of cars. And then there was this big, huge bus that had his whole family on it. It was like one of those, I want to say it's not a party bus, but it was that kind of looking kind of bus.
So like a Sprinter?
Yeah. Uh-huh. And it was black.
Yeah, so it sounds like a Sprinter.
And so it was almost like the size of a school bus.
Yep. Those are those Sprinters. They're nice.
It was really nice. And behind us all was the Patriot Guard. And these guys, and behind them was regular traffic. So you had regular traffic trying to cut through this procession. And the Patriot Guard, they had these big crazy ass flags on their motorcycles. Like, how do you ride with these big flags, like blowing you all around like that? To me, that seems like it would take some skill, right? And they got these big ass flags, and they fan out behind the procession so that nobody could get around them.
Mm-hmm.
And we're down in Florida. These guys with these freaking monster trucks are running up behind them and honking. These yahoos are pissed off because we got the road blocked off.
Right.
And they and so they're running up on the back of them and threatening them and calling them names and everything and acting like they're going to run over them. And the Patriot Guard never freaking budged. They held that line.
Held their line.
And nobody came through that procession, which was, a couple miles long.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. They did.
To the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so blown away, man. I was riding with tears in my eyes that they would bury our brother like that.
Right.
And
that's legendary.
And they were non-violent, non-confrontational. They were there to make sure that veteran was buried with honor, distinction, care, concern, love, and loyalty. And
to the
pride.
T. To the T.
And so, if this was anything like that, when they come to a new town, I'm sure they might have had sheriffs or whatever, cops, whatever, standing there. Steve standing there,
I love Steve.
saluting and that sort of thing. It was kind of amazing. So anyway, if you have an opportunity to support those guys in any way, I don't know if they take donations or how the hell they do what it is that they do. I can just tell you that it is the most
phenomenal. That sounds phenomenal.
That you have ever seen the way they handle their business. It's just phenomenal. So, one for the Patriot Guard, man.
Yeah, give it up for the Patriot Guard, man. That's awesome. That's really, really something that's honorable as all honor gets. That's as top at the top as it gets. That's so much respect and so much, like you said, loyalty, love, care, concern. Like that's to me what this is all about. Showing that. And they held up with that, they lived up to it. That's amazing. And then with this story, even though it may be 7 years ago, whatever, we're finding about it now. And for them to literally go from state to state to state to state to state, from where I live all the way to where you live, to properly give a proper burial where it's not going to be shipped off in a freaking FedEx box. That's honor.
Yeah. Well, the military, you got 10,000 people to bring home. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you can't put them all in a, maybe you have to mail some of them. But I want to also add this. My dog, Hope Magda Charity Warrigal, mighty dog of dogs, is a benevolent, great, magnificent, conqueror, and lion-hearted, bunch the first, conquering dog of the tribe of Judah, elect of God, died of cancer in 2014. My best friend had her taken away and had her cremated. So they gave me an opportunity to either go get her ashes or have them mailed to me, and I chose to have them mailed. And when that package arrived, one of the hardest things I ever had to do in my life was open that package. I would not wish that on anyone. I can't imagine getting a loved one person delivered to me in a package. That would not be something I could open up. You know what I mean?
All right. So real quick, I'm going to have to go mobile. I have to go drop off my daughter. So we're going to be going mobile for everybody.
Have you taken that much time already?
Yep. It's no big deal, though. It's no big deal. So I'm going to be mobile here in a second.
I've got to run the stuff by myself.
You sure do, kind
What?
sir. Let's see how well you do.
Why does your daughter have to go to school on time? I don't understand.
Yeah, we don't understand why children have to go to school. That's crazy.
On time.
All right.
Jeez.
I'll see you guys in 2
Go ahead,
minutes.
abandon us, Mike Ball. Abandon us.
Bring me back in 2 minutes when you see me in the car.
I see you over there. Okay. So so I wouldn't wish that on anyone in the world, to have to open up a box with something they love in it. That was crazy for me, and so I'm glad that they didn't make her open up that box. And the Patriot Guard delivered her loved ones to her. So good on you, Patriot Guard. Even if it was 7 years ago, good on you. All right. Now, here's an interesting one. The Alabama Supreme Court just ruled that frozen embryos are children. So in Alabama, at least, frozen embryos are children under their state law and subject to legislation dealing with the wrongful death of a minor, stating that it applies to all unborn children, regardless of their location. So I guess that means if you are a embryo provider, no longer can you throw those frozen embryos in the trash. You might go to prison for murder. The court issued the majority decision in a lawsuit brought forth by a group of in vitro fertilization patients whose frozen embryos were destroyed in December 2020 when a patient removed the embryos from a cryogenic storage unit and dropped them on the ground, which it doesn't say that he did on purpose, but he may damn well go to prison for it, I would think. The plaintiff subsequently filed 2 lawsuits against the facility, the Center for Reproductive Medicine, alleging that the clinic had violated Alabama's Wrongful Death of a Minor Act. Wow, which applies to unborn children. The plaintiffs also alternatively alleged negligence on the part of the clinic and sought compensatory damages, though the claims of negligence were specified to only be pleaded if Alabama courts of the U.S. Supreme Court decided frozen embryos were not children. The defendant's motion to dismiss the lawsuits were granted by a trial court that found a frozen embryo did not fall within the definition of a person or child. The court also ruled that the plaintiffs could not proceed with their calls for compensatory damages for the loss of a human life and emotional damages, citing long-standing legal standards in Alabama. In its decision, the Alabama Supreme Court did not address the question of whether extraterrene children should be treated as human beings, but it did find that state law did not specify what state an unborn child was to be in. But it did find that, it found that the state law did not specify what state an unborn child is to be in. So I guess that means what level of unbornness. The relevant statutory text is clear. The wrongful death of a minor act applies on its face to all unborn children without limitation, the court's decision stated. The court found that there was no unwritten exception, as the defendants have argued, to the law that applies to unborn children who are not physically located in utero, that is, inside a biological uterus at the time they were killed. So if they've been taken out of the uterus and put in a cryo lab, they're still unborn children, and you can't wrongfully kill them. The defendants had also argued that considering frozen embryos as children would result in numerous consequences, including making IVF substantially more expensive and preserving embryos more onerous. I guess more difficult. While we appreciate the defendant's concerns, these types of policy-focused arguments belong before the legislature, not this court, the ruling stated. The ruling issued by Alabama Supreme Court Justice Mitchell, with 7 other of the other 8 justices concurring. Alabama Supreme Court Justice Craig Cook issued a dissenting opinion. Cook argued in his opinion that it was not within the role of the court to expand the reach of a statute and breathe life into it by updating or amending it. Yeah, that is for the legislature. He argued the law that was written in 1872 would not have taken into account the status of frozen embryos, and to argue that the law does would require an explicit amendment from the state legislature.
1872.
Yeah,
Wow.
bro. So, if you are dealing with embryos in Alabama, frozen embryos, bro, it just got it just got real, bro. It just got real.
Wow.
Ghost Dingo brings a interesting perspective. What if she swallows? Does that count? Does that count as inhumanely? Wow. This is the fight. We thought the fight was over with Roe v. Wade. It is not over. It has been reignited. It's back, my bro.
The woke generation.
Yeah. Well, no, this is not really. This has been going on since before my generation. The whole
Yes.
abortion thing.
It's a forever thing. This is going to be a forever topic, to be real.
It's never going to, it's going to go back and forth through the centuries or whatever.
Yep.
In more in the news. This is an interesting one. A woman gets pregnant in jail.
Oh. By a guard?
Well, we don't know if it was a guard or not. Judge postpones decision over whether to transfer a Florida inmate who became pregnant while incarcerated to house arrest. A judge on Wednesday postponed.
Arrest.
No. She was incarcerated. She's incarcerated now. He's deciding whether to send her home.
Oh, I see. Because she's pregnant, maybe I understand.
Yeah, it's not a safe place to be pregnant in a jail.
Hell no. That's so much stress on the baby. It's unreal.
Oh, you could just get it stomped out of you. It's tough in prison.
Yes, it is.
Somebody could be all jealous because you're all pregnant and happy.
Hey, those women in those prisons, man, don't underestimate them. They're wild in there.
I used to watch all the prison movies.
Me too.
Chained Heat.
Those women can get some crazy stuff
Chained
going on,
Lust,
stomping people. You have no idea.
Yeah. Those were the greatest movies, weren't they?
Hey, I love anything prison related, prison politics.
Somebody said, what was this? A trans person in a women's jail? No, it would be a trans person in a male jail, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would be a trans person in a male jail. Is what it would be.
Well, I think you're sent off no matter what.
But I don't think that's what this was. I think this was a judge Wednesday postponed the decision on whether to transfer a Florida inmate who became pregnant while incarcerated from county jail to house arrest, pending the release of medical and corrections records first. Daisy Link, 28, has been at the Turner Guilford Knight Correctional Center in Miami-Dade County since June 2022. On Christmas Day, she called family members from jail and told them she was pregnant, according to her sister, Crystal Barreto. The circumstances that led to the pregnancy are unclear and have prompted what's unclear about it?
And now that's total BS.
Prompted an investigation.
What guard got you?
Well, maybe not, because by the Miami-Dade, because they're going to have an investigation by the Miami-Dade Corrections and Rehabilitation Department. Link, which is her name, is awaiting trial on charge of second-degree murder.
Wow.
That her attorney, Marlene Montaner, said arose from a domestic violence incident during which Link feared for her life. This always happens to these ladies after they kill somebody that's been beating on them for a while. She has been held without bond at the correctional center, which houses both male and female inmates, and does not have a trial date set yet. So, she's awaiting a trial for murder. At the hearing Wednesday, Montaner, the attorney, asked Judge Lodi Jean to reconsider a previous order denying Link's pretrial release, saying Link is now about 19 weeks pregnant, but has received perinatal vitamins on only 19 days of her pregnancy. She suggested Link live with her sister under home confinement with electronic monitoring instead of being behind bars. There is an alternative to her being incarcerated, Montner said in court. My client's baby's health is at risk. She should have thought about that before she got pregnant in prison. Link appeared in court for the hearing and answered several questions from the judge, agreeing when asked whether she consented to have her medical records introduced in court. More medical records dating back to the start of the pregnancy will now be turned over to the prosecution, and corrections records documenting Link's request for health treatment in jail will be turned over to the judge, who will review them to see if they have evidentiary value and can be used by the defense. Montaner said Link's records show that she asked jail officials for a pregnancy test as early as November 7th, but was not granted one until late December. Damn.
Wow.
And all you got to do is just the thing you pee on. What's wrong with these people?
Come on, you can't hold that above their head for months and months or whatever. Dude, it's so simple.
It's this, Mike Ball. It's this. When you take your ass to jail, they don't give a damn.
Nope. You are property of them now, and they'll move at their speed. They don't care.
If you go to jail, they don't care, bro. Let's see. She also said Link asked for and has been denied Gatorade to help with dehydration from morning sickness. They won't even give her any Gatorade. She don't need to be in that jail. She doesn't need to be in that jail. The Miami-Dade Corrections and Rehabilitation Department did not immediately respond to a request for comment on the allegations. The allegations is we don't hand out pregnancy tests and Gatorade. We're just too big of assholes. A spokesperson for the department told NBC News that pregnant inmates receive timely and appropriate perinatal care or prenatal care. Yeah, sure they do. Yeah, and said the department confirmed Link's pregnancy after a thorough medical exam 2 months later.
Of course.
But has not commented on who may have impregnated her. Oh, no, they don't want to comment on that.
They don't want to let that out to the public right away until it's guaranteed, put in the stone. And even then, they're still going to try to sweep this shit under the rug. Watch.
While there is no evidence of sexual battery against our inmate at this time, the circumstances surrounding this pregnancy are currently under active investigation. What do you mean, no evidence of sexual battery? Can an inmate consent to sex?
Well, here's the question is honestly, is anytime anything has happened, the police especially, they can figure out right then and there who impregnated you. They will go ahead and look up they'll do a basically a rape kit. They do all these things to figure out the semen of who it was.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they know what employee semen it is.
But well, if you got that DNA,
nobody has to turn in CNA or DNA to have a job. I want to be a prison guard here. We're going to need your DNA.
But if you were to get my DNA, it would link back to me whether I'm hired to them or not.
Sure. But
so why are they so scared to test what
I don't know if they're scared to. They just haven't made a comment yet on who did it. I'm sure they probably already know.
Yeah, they know.
But they said there's no evidence of sexual battery. But if you're in a jail, and I'm not saying she had sex with a prison guard, we don't know yet. But if you're in jail,
don't know. That's speculation.
And somebody and it's a prison guard, can you consent to have sex with a prison guard? I don't know.
No, the prison guard would theoretically get fired, and
but is it illegal to have consensual sex with a prison guard?
Yes, it is illegal.
That's the question. Let's.
I believe it's illegal.
Is it illegal? I'm going to ask.
Yeah, ask it, and I know that our community here is going to let us know as well.
Is it illegal for a prisoner to have sex with a prison guard? Ah, here we go. Right here. Aha, my friend. It's right here. Federal law criminalizes all sexual relations and sexual contact between prison staff and inmates. Not even just guards, but prison staff.
The whole staff. It could be a warden. It could be anybody. It's illegal to do that.
Not only can it cause harm to inmates, staff sexual abuse of inmates can also threaten the safety of security behind the prison.
Right.
So there you go. You can't have sex. But anyway, so if they say there's no evidence of sexual battery, if it was a prison guard or staff or other staff, it seems to me that that is battery in and of itself, sexual battery in and of itself. But that's just me. I'm not an attorney. Mountner said, the attorney for Link, the lady, said that Link needs to be transferred out of the jail as soon as possible. And I would agree with that. She said, I'm very worried that we keep postponing a decision, Mountner said in a phone interview after Wednesday's hearing. The baby deserves the protection of the court and the protection of having the right care. Like, what the hell are we postponing for? In court, Mountner said that it was not an assault that caused her client's pregnancy, but she did not elaborate on the situation. Barretto's Link's sister said Link has not felt comfortable sharing the details over the jail's recorded phone lines, and Mountner said Florida does not allow conjugal visits.
Right.
Now, her murder trial.
So if there's no conjugal visits, and that's what essentially the only other way she's going to get pregnant, right?
Well,
so no.
I think that I read somewhere that there are males and females housed here.
If there's males and females
so
housed in the same unit, which is
not the same, particularly the same unit, but maybe in that
building,
facility,
right? But at the same token, they
so
can't be
an inmate theoretically.
Inmates aren't allowed to do that either, so that's illegal too. So whatever it is, it's going to be harsh. Once it comes out.
Imagine it could be. So the murder case against her. Link was murder charge arose from a situation involving an abusive partner, according to Mountner, who shared photos with NBC that appeared to show Link with blood running down her shoulder from her head. Mountner said the injuries were the result of abuse her client had endured days before she fired a weapon in June 2022. According to an arrest affidavit for Link obtained by NBC News, the man who was killed had a gunshot wound to his right leg. The affidavit said the Link told investigators, I didn't mean to shoot him. I was just trying to scare him. The affidavit adds that Link said that she and the man had a verbal argument earlier and that he then left the residence. The defendant explained that she armed herself with a firearm and awaited his return. It says, when he came back, the two got into another argument and the man said he would lock Link out of the house. Link told investigators per the affidavit. The man then began running to the residence when she subsequently shot him.
Wow.
Mountner said he said that Link was outside when the incident happened and fired a single shot in the dark out of fear. Mountner, the attorney, reiterated Wednesday that she felt Link was acting in self-defense. What I want the judge to consider is that she really wasn't a danger to anybody but the man who's now dead. It's not fair for her to be in jail. It wasn't fair before she got pregnant. It hasn't been fair at all.
Right.
So, yeah, and by the fact that she only shot him in the leg, that's interesting. Interesting story.
I always say, this is just me. If you're going to pull a gun out, you better be shooting. And you shoot it. I don't shoot to, let's just say, hurt or stop a situation. I'm going to eliminate that situation 1,000%. It's just, that's how it's going to go. If I'm pulling, it's not to shoot your leg. It's not to shoot you in the foot. It's to totally blast you and get you out of here. You know what I mean? Because you are an obvious threat.
Yeah, but a lot of women get guns taken away from them because
yes, and that is
they're not trying to kill you or whatever. They're just want to scare you.
A lot of them, they're scared
because she obviously wasn't trying to kill this guy, in my opinion, because she didn't use any of the buzzwords.
Right.
I was afraid for my life, and he was attacking me, so I killed him. That's what you say. She didn't say none of that. So it seems to me that she probably may go to jail for something that was a horrible night after getting beat by this guy, maybe on several occasions. Look at this. Hawaii rejects Second Amendment interpretation and landmark decision. Now, obviously, if you're in Hawaii, the Second Amendment is screwed up for you there.
I was just about to ask that question, Black Dragon. You're going to know a little bit better than I do. So since now that they are not considered a state anymore by the United States, they are considered a territory now, kind of like Puerto Rico. I don't know if you know this or not. But the United States has officially disbanded the Hawaii as a state, and it's now a territory. So now this is going to make it even that much more complicated with their rights.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% sure. They are now a territory. They are not a state.
Legal status of Hawaii. Wow. The legal status of Hawaii is an evolving legal matter, and it pertains to United States law. Let's see. Hawaii is internationally recognized as a state of the United States under military occupation.
This all just changed within the last couple of weeks or month, or I believe so. So you may have to look up, like type in, is Hawaii considered a state in 2024?
Oh, look at this. Hawaiian Kingdom versus Biden on December 14, 2022.
Well, that's old too. But this is all new stuff that I just told you.
Wow. I did not know that Hawaii was not a state.
Yeah.
No,
it's terrible.
Actually, anyone can change or create a wiki page, but wiki has people on there that keep it real. If you make a bad change to it, it won't last long.
Right.
Wiki
That's
is
true.
Wiki is really, really, really hardcore on these pages. I know because I've created a couple, and they have wiki police, and they don't let you just put bullshit on these pages. Maybe it started out like that, but it ain't like that now. Anyway, they require you to have sources and all kinds of things, and it is absolutely checked. So Native Hawaiian people never directly relinquished to the United States their claims to their inherent sovereignty and people over their national lands. Yeah, Hawaii was stolen.
Yeah.
And so they call it an independent nation under military occupation due to the fact that there is no treaty or annexation between Hawaiian Kingdom and the United States. So the legality of control of Hawaii. Well, I will have to look that up. I guess, Mike, they might not be a state anymore.
They're not a state anymore. And this came out of, I can't remember which, if it was Congress. I can't remember how it was decided.
I can't imagine America turning over something that would be that financially.
Theoretically, as of right now, we have 49 states. And when it comes down to this Texas ordeal, let's just say we have I think it's 27 out of the 49 states that are in favor of Texas right now. And this is what makes all this scary, because now Hawaii is not even considered a state.
I can't find anything that tells me that.
Yep. Do a little more research off the show.
Yeah. We'll check it out. It's very interesting that you would say that.
Yep. I'm telling you because I know. I'm not saying it out of my ass.
Sure. I just wanted to double check you there, Mike. Sorry, bro.
Absolutely.
Anyway, whatever is going on, they reject the Second Amendment interpretation. The Supreme Court of Hawaii has ruled a man can be prosecuted for carrying a gun in public without a permit in the state, overturning a lower court ruling that concluded this would violate his rights under the Second Amendment. Christopher Wilson was charged with keeping a firearm in an improper place and keeping ammunition in an improper place after being arrested on December 7th, 2017 in the West Maui Mountains. He was found in possession of a handgun that had been loaded with a 10-round magazine, which he insisted was for self-defense without a permit as required by state law.
Yeah,
Wilson,
I mean, we would be in the same trouble here in California. You know, if you don't have your firearm locked a certain way, if you don't have your ammo in the back or in the trunk, there's a lot of things that you have to separate in California. So it's understandable how they're running that whole ordeal.
It is.
That's kind of normal. That's normal. Like if we did that here, the exact same thing here in California,
Communist.
I 100% agree. I think everyone should have the constitutional right to carry. It's our right. But they of course have made this so strict and made it near impossible to make anything happen like that.
Communism.
It is.
Anyway, the Hawaii Supreme Court referenced the island's history as an independent kingdom, as well as the dramatic improvement in firearm capacity since the Second Amendment was ratified in 1791 to justify its ruling. It wrote, "We believe it is a misplaced view to think that today's public safety laws must look like laws passed long ago. Smooth-bore, muzzle-loaded, and power and ramrod muskets were not exactly useful to colonial-era mass murderers. And life is a bit different now in a nation where a lot more people stretching to the islands in the Pacific Ocean, a nation with a lot more people." The court said, "As the world turns, it makes no sense for contemporary society to pledge allegiance to the founding era's culture, realities, laws, and understanding of the Constitution." This was followed by a quote from the hit HBO show The Wire stating, "The thing about the old days, they are the old days." Wow. Balderdash.
It is Balderdash. It is.
Balder freaking dash. Because the musket and black powder gun was absolutely the most engineeringly, scientifically advanced thing that they had. And it's what gave us the West. It gave us the America as we know it today. And without that, we would be in a bad way. You feel me?
Yep. We needed those firearms.
Let's break off on this note. What if a cop did this to your motorcycle? Have you seen this one yet?
No.
Yeah, this cop was confiscating a motorcycle. Watch what she does.
She's gonna eat shit. Watch.
She can't even start it.
No, she's gonna eat shit. Hey, the state's gonna be paying for that one. That's all recorded. That's why you record that. If you ever get your bike impounded, you ever get your car impounded, record it. Because if they damage it, you guys can actually get that money back. It's hard. It may take you 2 years to get it, but at least you got it on film. You and your dogs.
No, that's somebody's here. Hey, take over for a minute, Mike.
Well, take that away. Okay, well, I'd rather him of full screen. There we go. So, all these stories, it's very interesting how all of this interlines. You know what I mean? We have a lot of crazy stories that actually happen pretty much, to our what we got within the like this episode, there's like 3 different breakoffs from this, whether it's Hawaii, whether it's about the man that got caught doing the hit and run and actually killing somebody. These things, obviously, when it comes to hit and run, I personally am very sensitive to it, I guess, because it happened to me. You know, I died 4 times in the process of somebody hitting me and then literally not caring about human life. And so that part is scary, because people just don't care about human life anymore. And it's sad. Like there's like this, nobody cares about anybody anymore. What happened about being a good neighbor or being a good biker or being a good human being? People just want to get away with their problems rather than help a situation, which is what happened to me. Welcome welcome Black Dragon.
Yeah, they're attacking the Amazon lady. I ordered some stuff for my new phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Very nice.
yeah, isn't that
You
cool?
excited? You excited?
Yeah, I'm excited. I ordered some stuff for it so I could you know, it needs a screen and all that kind of stuff. So
Right. You need all.
it's
You
crazy
need
how this new
case.
dog has jumped into the protection thing. It's crazy. Together, these guys are a formidable team. You got a Belgian Malinois and a damn Staffordshire Terrier. Is that what pit
now?
bulls
You
are
got
called?
some protection.
Yeah, buddy. Okay, so listen, we've had a good day. And time for us to get out of here. We've been over here over an hour. So hey, man, did Black Dragon keep the dog? I haven't kept the dog, but
yes, you have. Stop capping.
I'm not capping.
You are capping.
So I said. So I called the animal shelter, and they wouldn't even answer the phone. They send me this letter here, this text message. This is Elliot from DeKalb County Animal Services. Thank you for reaching out to us about the pet that you found. If you're able to foster it, or you know anyone who would be able to, we will be more than happy to give you food, resources, free vet care, and pet food.
Wow.
And pet gear. We strongly encourage. Jesus, we strongly encourage fostering it, as it is in the best interest of the pet.
Yes,
of the animal.
is.
If you found the pet in DeKalb County, you're able to drop it off at our facility any day between 11 and 7. You know, the drop-off process takes an hour. A freaking hour? I can't just drop it off? So anyway.
No. Keep him and give them the food that they give you.
I said, I will foster for as long as I can, but this is a stubborn pit bull. He's quite intimidating. However, so far, he's been quite loving. So I will keep him for as long as I can. He said, or Elliot said, we definitely have successes with pets finding their owners while they are in foster care. You're welcome to swing by the animal shelter anytime to do a microchip scan. I've already done a microchip scan. Check an exam to make sure it's doing okay. It'd be eligible to leave for foster care the same day if we intake it. I'll keep it around for a minute.
Good.
I'll keep it
it's in the best interest of it's in the best interest of that dog, I promise you.
If he stays around, like he just ran out the front door. So I mean,
he'll come right back to you, guaranteed.
If he stays around, so far he hasn't left the premises. I figure if he knows his way home, he'd just leave and go home. But he hasn't done that yet.
Dude, he was showing his ribs. Obviously, whoever he was with.
And then I found him last night going through a trash can. So he's
hungry.
I told him, hey, bro, you don't need to go to those trash cans no more, bro. We got food.
Yeah, you're like, man, let me get you another 6 burgers.
Well, I bought him a chicken. He's
A
gonna.
hen. You give him a
He's got
full
a ham
hen.
on
You
there.
give
Let
him
me
a
hold
milk.
on a second. Let me show you.
Look at this. Black Dragon's serious about it. And
Well, I
then
showed
he
it to you
wants
guys yesterday. I showed you the food he eats, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got
This
a
man,
hen.
this man wants to cap as if like he's not keeping this dog.
No, you take care of things. Anyway, I gotta get out here. I got this dog running loose out there.
Alrighty, Black Dragon.
I got 2 dogs running loose out there. So, and the gate's open, so I gotta get out to the animals. Anyway, hey, we'll see you guys tomorrow, right?
That's right.
Same bat time, same bat channel. Love you, Mike Ball, and you guys support the channel. And thank you guys. So. Thank you guys for everything. I'm Black Dragon. That's my 2 cents. Love to hear your 2 cents in the comment section below. That's Mike Ball. Having a great time, man. Love you all. Thanks for tuning in and get skinny. Prepare yourself to take the helm as president of your mighty motorcycle club by delving into the pages of Black Dragon's newest book, The President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership. There you will learn to advance your skills in applying the 14 scientific principles of leadership similar to those taught to officers in the United States Naval Service. Available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Get yours today on Amazon, Kindle, or order it at your local bookstore. Order your autographed copy from blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club president you can be. Get the book.
Get Black Dragon's first book, The Prospect's Bible, to learn how to join a motorcycle club. It has been an Amazon #1 bestseller for the past 7 years and is required reading for over 3,000 motorcycle clubs worldwide. This book is a must-have for new people venturing onto the motorcycle club set. It will teach you how to prepare yourself for service to the motorcycle club nation and show you how to qualify a motorcycle club to be worthy of your service. Available on Amazon, Kindle, and for order at your local bookstore. Get your autographed copy at blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club prospect you can be. Get the book.